Welcome to Aria, a powerful journey through real-life tales filled with love, deception, and betrayal. If these videos spark joy within you, please take a moment to show it by hitting that like button. The impact is more profound than you think. Let's uncover the gripping tale that lies ahead. Never did I foresee that I would hold the weight of such a monumental secret. As I stepped into the sacred bond of marriage, I believed my life would be a vibrant tapestry of love, loyalty, and lasting happiness with my husband. At 30, I became a school teacher, while my husband David, a kind and introspective man, chased his dreams in finance. Though our lives lacked thrill, they held a serene beauty that, for a time, felt like the essence of true happiness. In the beginning of our journey, we faced the highs and lows of life side by side. We found our first home, traveled each year, and savored the little joys: lazy Sunday breakfasts, intimate movie nights, and the warmth of weekend gardening. But then everything shifted after our 5th year. David's promotion brought a surge of hope for our finances, but it also meant longer hours at the office, more business trips, and fewer evenings together at home. At first, I stayed silent. He labored tirelessly, fueled by the hope of a better tomorrow for us. Slowly, I began to feel an unsettling invisibility creeping into my own home. Meals often unfolded in quiet isolation. Conversations became brief and functional, focused solely on costs, supplies, or his schedule. The man who once dazzled me with flowers and filled my days with laughter through his playful impressions now seemed distant, swallowed by spreadsheets and client calls. In that moment, Amanda stepped back into the spotlight. Amanda was my steadfast companion from our college days. Years of silence shattered when she came back to town, and we were drawn to each other once more. In the chaos of her divorce, I offered her a place to stay for a few days, hoping to provide some solace as she faced the storm of her reality. What started as a fleeting moment extended into 2 weeks, and then, inevitably, a month slipped away. She exuded a vibrant energy, a whirlwind of unpredictability that could turn an ordinary night into a memory etched in time, all through her captivating stories and contagious laughter. Her presence unearthed a version of myself I thought was lost forever. The vibrant youth I once was, filled with dreams and energy, before I became the lonely soul sitting at a table alone each night. At that moment, I came face to face with Leo, a friend from Amanda's past. One evening, he arrived at our home, bringing with him remnants of Amanda's life. He stood tall, a quiet strength radiating from him, his voice a mere whisper, yet it held a weight that lingered in the air. His words were sparse, but the fire in his gaze as he scanned the room ignited my intrigue. Unlike David, who was always distracted by work or the pull of technology, Leo faced others with a steady, unyielding gaze that radiated confidence. He listened with a rare patience that felt almost otherworldly. After that first encounter, he came back again and again, once to help Amanda with her car, another time to return a book she had left behind at his place. Each time we spoke, it was more than just small talk. We plunged into the raw essence of true connection. In the depths of existence, amidst solitude and the haunting echoes of youth, I realized how maturity often drifts us from our true selves. It struck me unexpectedly, yet I found myself yearning for his visits, each one a spark of anticipation. The thought of his potential visit compelled me to choose more elegant attire. I found myself reflecting on our conversations, my mind racing as I lay beside David, who seemed either deep in sleep or consumed by his emails. My love for my husband never faltered. That element made it utterly baffling. I was shattered, ensnared in a storm of feelings. All I ever wanted was to protect our bond, but an overwhelming sense of loss consumed me, leaving me feeling like I was slipping into darkness. I felt like a mere pawn in someone else's story, but Leo brought me back into focus. On a bleak, rain-drenched afternoon, Leo emerged unexpectedly. By then, Amanda had made her new apartment feel like home, but he called, saying he was nearby and wanted to return a scarf she had left behind. David set off on a 3-day conference adventure. The house stood silent, a weighty stillness hanging in the air, thick with unspoken sorrow. In the intimate glow of the living room, we held warm cups of tea, each sip a moment suspended in time. The scent of cinnamon haunts my thoughts, intertwined with the soft rhythm of rain tapping against the window. We talked for hours, exploring a whirlwind of topics, both deep and light. It flowed effortlessly until he spoke a phrase that etched itself into my mind forever. "Your smile hides a deep sorrow, and it's captivating in its complexity." I remained frozen, the truth piercing through me like a dagger. I wore the mask of happiness for so long that I forgot what it felt like to be truly okay. That night, our choices were unassailable. We held our ground, yet something changed between us, a silent recognition that the feelings we felt were real, even if we never spoke them aloud. The days that followed were heavy with regret and doubt. I avoided his calls, losing myself in my work. I reached out to David, suggesting a weekend escape together. He agreed, but even as they traveled, his laptop held him captive. A suffocating weight pressed down on me as I navigated a flawless facade that hid a deep, unsettling emptiness beneath. A message from Leo came one day, a single line that pierced through the silence. "I hope you're holding up. If you ever want to talk, I'm here for you." For hours, I was consumed by that message, and at last I poured my heart into my response. That decision changed everything. I never meant for it to unravel like this. First, it was just a conversation. A message sparked a connection, transforming into a late-night call that culminated in a coffee meeting at a hidden cafe, where we existed only for each other, unseen by the world. Our conversation swirled with the shadows of love and emotions, skirting their essence without ever making contact. We exchanged our tales, his struggles to find steady work after a failed venture, my loneliness, David's long absences, and my fear that this silence might be all that was left for me. Initially, it felt less like betrayal and more like a revelation, a therapy that finally shed light on the shadows where I had been trapped for so long. I told myself I was just venting my frustrations, yearning for connection, and fighting to stay afloat in a life that was slowly draining me. Yet deep down I knew, the moment it lost its innocence is forever burned in my mind. On a Saturday afternoon, David canceled our lunch plans again, this time citing a work emergency that felt all too familiar. I decided to remain silent, avoiding any confrontation. I nodded quietly, straightening the table set for two. Leo extended his hand, sensing the unease that lingered in the air. He asked if I wanted to take a walk to clear my mind. We met in a small park on the edge of town, where everything changed. The sun blazed overhead, a soft breeze whispering through, hiding the turmoil that churned beneath the surface. We walked for over an hour, the air heavy with unvoiced feelings, our footsteps resonating in the stillness, and brief looks revealing emotions beyond words. We sank onto a bench, cradled by the protective embrace of a tree's branches. He looked at me, his voice barely above a whisper. "You deserve to feel life again." It was more than just a line. His voice held a quiet strength, laced with genuine worry. I remained silent, paralyzed by the knowledge that any words would unleash a flood of feelings I couldn't contain. That evening, I lay in bed next to David, my eyes locked on the ceiling while he furiously typed on his laptop. I was overwhelmed with the need to reach out, to ask if he still saw me the way he used to share the depth of my longing, the feeling of slipping away. But I held back. Exhaustion settled in as I realized I was always the one pushing forward. Deep inside, I knew that if I mustered the strength to speak my mind, his reply would probably be nothing more than a hollow, "We'll talk tomorrow." This task is essential and must be finished. The next day I saw Leo again, and this time I moved forward without a second thought. Our lips collided in a tender, electrifying moment. It was gentle and hesitant, a shared fear of the weight of what was happening. When it finally occurred, tears flowed freely down my cheeks. Not from regret, but from the realization that I had crossed a line I never thought I would, stepping into a realm from which there was no turning back. Leo held me close, the weight of his silence heavy with unspoken truths, never once suggesting it was all right. He didn't try to make sense of it. He stood close, burdened by the heavy silence of guilt, confusion, and sorrow that surrounded us. After that, I told him we needed space. I stood at a crossroads where understanding was vital. I stood at a pivotal moment, torn between the desire to heal my marriage and the bravery needed to end it truthfully. I tried. I have taken up the art of preparing dinner again. I asked David if he would consider counseling. I even suggested we escape for a few days together. Just the two of us, lost in the moment, wrapped in each other's essence. He said he would think about it, but the topic never resurfaced. One evening, I came home from work sooner than expected and found him in his office, lost in his typing. I stood in the hallway, watching him, yearning for a glance, but he kept his eyes fixed on the floor. For nearly 2 agonizing minutes, he was completely unaware of me standing there. In that moment, something shattered inside me, not from anger or sadness, but from an overwhelming clarity that pierced through the chaos. I realized I no longer craved his love as I once did. I had accepted that the version of us I once knew was gone forever. I stepped into the room, sat across from him, and asked, "Do you still want to be married to me?" He looked up, stunned. "What kind of question is that?" I proclaimed authenticity, a true essence, I declared. He blinked, confusion washing over his face. "Absolutely, I do. What drives someone to ask that?" "It has been ages since you last stepped foot here," I said. "I bear no resentment towards you. I simply wonder if you even see it." He stayed quiet. The silence held a weight that words could never capture. That night, sleep slipped through my fingers. I lay in bed, eyes wide, staring into the abyss of darkness. With the first light of dawn, clarity washed over me, and I knew I had to leave. Not for Leo, not for anyone else, only for me. Leo had no idea. I had hidden it from him. I craved solitude, a chance to breathe in my own essence, to see if I could stand alone, to find a sense of wholeness within. Clutching a small bag, I wrote a note for David, pouring my heart into words of calm and respect, before heading to my sister's house across town. She embraced me wholeheartedly, without a trace of judgment. She held back a flood of questions. She wrapped her arms around me, her voice a soft whisper, "It's all right." 7 long days dragged on before David finally reached for the phone. He remained eerily calm, acknowledging the unavoidable truth of the situation, yet confessed he felt powerless to stop it. We met again at a cozy cafe, talking like two souls who once shared something real, now transformed beyond the limits of our history. We came to a shared decision about our separation. We agreed to sidestep the clash. Finally, I dialed Leo's number. His only question was, "How are you feeling?" I noted, trembling yet uplifted. He said, "Good. This is just the start." From that moment on, I held back from rushing into any decisions. I granted myself a moment, a fleeting chance to reflect, to understand, and to truly see the person I had become. For years, I was a wife, a constant pillar, always putting others first, burying my own feelings deep within. I was compelled to unearth the core of my true self. Leo cherished that deeply. He held back, resisting the urge to press forward. He reached out every few days, sometimes with nothing but a fleeting message. May today offer a relief that outshines the burdens of yesterday. He became a quiet force in my life, always there, never asking for more, just steadfast. 3 months later, David and I finalized our separation papers. It was a quiet storm, a stillness that held its breath. He showed a polite demeanor and in some ways appeared more present than he had in years. We sat across from each other in the lawyer's office, silence wrapping around us, but an unanticipated calmness hung in the air. Maybe it was our shared awareness that, even amid the hurt, Our choices held a certain validity. Shock rippled through our circle. Friends, neighbors, and even family stood frozen in disbelief. To the outside world, we were the perfect couple, but they had no idea of the chaos that raged within our walls. The silence that hung between us was invisible to them. They sat across from the one they promised to love, yet the distance between them felt insurmountable, as if they were nothing more than strangers. It's striking how easily distance can creep in, even under the same roof. About 6 months after I left, Leo and I crossed paths again, not in a cafe or hidden away, but in the quiet embrace of a bookstore on a rainy afternoon. It felt like a lifetime since we faced each other. Our last meeting etched in my memory as the day I turned my back on my marriage. He stood there, calm and gentle, his gaze holding a depth that made everyone feel significant. I told him I was ready to talk. We drifted through the city for hours, lost in a haze, with no destination to guide us. I laid bare my innermost thoughts, confessing how I had burdened myself with blame for my weakness, for the unraveling of my marriage, for yielding to an unexpected fate. He focused intently. He stayed quiet, offering no effort to clarify things for me. He walked beside me, our steps perfectly aligned, each word heavy with meaning. That day, I finally let go of the weight of guilt. Our romance didn't spark instantly. Space remained essential to my being. He understood, and we stayed close. Phone calls that spark connection, dinners that bring us together, and deep conversations that sometimes explore the depths of our souls, while other times drift through cherished books, melodies, or dreams of far-off places. As the days unfolded, what we shared transformed into something real, rooted in understanding, acceptance, and deep respect. In truth, my leaving the marriage was not about Leo at all. I left, having slipped into the shadows of my own life, stripped of the essence of true aliveness, yearning for appreciation, for recognition. Leo wasn't the one who caused the fractures. He quietly disclosed that they were already here. Upon reflection, I see my story not as one defined by betrayal. I see it as a spark of revelation. Regret haunts me, shadowing the choices I've made. I yearn for the bravery I once lacked, the truth I couldn't reveal to myself or to David. Still, I feel the weight of my humanity pressing down on me. Isolation wrapped around me, agony surged within me. Out of that anguish, I forged my path. Today, my life feels utterly changed. It holds a profound stillness, a measured rhythm, and at moments, an unexpected twist. Still, it is mine. I live in a snug apartment, mere moments from where I once taught. Occasionally, I seek out Amanda. She discovered love once more, wrapping herself in a vibrant joy that felt almost electric. David and I exchange messages now and then, celebrating birthdays, holidays, and sharing brief updates. What lingers is not fury, but an abyss of separation between us. Some love stories, no matter how deep, are not meant to last forever. Leo and I stand together, unwavering. Time stands still. We steer clear of trapping things in strict definitions. Two souls faithfully entwined at the wrong moment, waiting for destiny to reveal its plan. Sometimes I catch myself lost in thoughts of who I used to be years ago. A young woman in a wedding dress, her smile a beacon of hope for a future that lingered just out of reach. I bear no bitterness against her. She clung fiercely to her belief in the beautiful. She tried hard. Even as everything fell apart around her, she found a way to push ahead. This is the heart of the story. It's not just about falling or giving in to failure. It's a quest to unearth your true self, no matter the time it demands, even if it means facing tough choices. Though it means leaving behind what once mattered deeply, I know I am not flawless. I will never exist. In this moment, I am unflinchingly honest. Finally, I am free. In all my experiences, I've learned that life rarely goes as we imagine. We grow up believing that love is enough, that with dedication, unwavering commitment, and following the rules, everything will fall into place as it should. Yet, there are moments when love quietly fades into silence. Sometimes the line between right and wrong blurs into obscurity. It delves into the very core of existence. This story is shared not for sympathy or praise. I share this because I know the weight of feeling lost in my own life, sitting quietly at dinner tables, pretending everything is fine. I hope that anyone listening realizes it's completely normal to reflect on where you are right now. Yearning for more is entirely valid. It is vital to put your own needs first, as we are given only one life to live. We have the right to fully embrace it, wide awake and unafraid.